Hi, everybody, and welcome into the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show. It's a Wednesday, and we're joined by, of course, as always, Brownwood Lions head football coach, athletic director Sammy Burdett, right here to my immediate right. And we have a special guest, one of our new coaches, Caleb Hill, that we're going to visit with in a few moments. Welcome, Coach Hill, by the way.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll visit with him. We'll talk about his background and how he's going to be helping out this year, and I'm really excited to have him in the studio, Coach.
I'm glad you are, Carl.
We're all excited. Star is too. Randy, they're just beaming with excitement, and we really are. And we had a nice visit before you got here and learned a little bit about Coach Hill.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about Coach Hill. I did my background check, but we'll save that for later, and he's going to get to enlighten you on his bio a little bit. It'll be fun to listen to.
I can't wait. Well, how are you, Coach Sammy?
Man, I'm hunky-dory. Doing good things in the off-season. Summer strength conditioning workouts, how about that, not off-season? A lot of numbers are still really good, boys and girls. Trying to install our game plans offensively and defensively, and I'm really excited about the younger ones because we're having those incoming 7th graders and 8th graders that are getting a little bit more in detail on the playbook, maybe hopefully open their playbook up a little bit. So I'm really excited about them and the numbers that they're bringing. And then, of course, the consistency with our varsity kids is phenomenal compared to when I first got here and what we were fighting. You don't really have to ask them to be here. They're there, unless they're going to a church camp or going to see grandma for a couple of days. They're there. So we're having a good time. Our coaches are working hard, and we're talking football, and we're talking life, and we're talking character, and we're talking what it means and what it takes to be a Brownwood Lion, and I'm just all excited about it.
Yeah, me too. I really am. Now, next week, the 4th of July, you're going to take a little break next week?
Yes, we are. We'll take a break. They shut the school down, and we give the kids a break that week. And, of course, coaches get a break as well. And then when we come back, we'll be back in we'll go through strength and conditioning again another week. And then we'll let the kids off the next week because we go to coaching school on the 17th through the 20th. We'll be at San Antonio at Texas High School Coach Association. We'll go through that, and then we'll come back and work another week and off season, and we'll be at it. So it's just right around the corner.
Have you heard any new rule changes or anything that you guys are going to be talking about at coaching school?
I haven't. I've seen a couple of things, some things that they have proposed to the UIL, and some things that have already been knocked down. A couple of things that they have tabled, maybe for further discussion. But later on, I'll get a list from the UIL on rule changes and things like that. Have you heard something?
Well, let me ask you about this. They are polling superintendents, coaches, and others about freshmen playing varsity football.
I have heard that.
The UIL has got something out there to keep freshmen from playing varsity football. I got Coach Denard's opinion on that. So let me ask you about that. What do you think?
Well, I didn't get to hear his opinion, so no.
He says they should if they're able to.
Here, I think this. If a kid's able to play at the varsity level, why not? I don't encourage freshmen to play on the varsity level. I don't encourage sophomores to play on the varsity level. Good programs have a very strong junior, senior class, and that's usually where your varsity teams come from. Mm-hmm. And if you have strong junior and senior classes, you're usually pretty successful. If you're having to lean on your younger classes, they usually say you put a freshman or a sophomore on the field, you can count that as a loss. So for every one freshman and sophomore you have, that's a loss. So if you have 5, that's 5 losses, and that sort of plays true sometimes. Unless you have a phenomenal athlete. A good example is A.J. McCarty.
Yeah, amen.
A.J. McCarty was well ahead of his time as a freshman. He was a dynamic athlete in all sports. So why hold him back? I think at the bigger schools, the 6As and 5As, I think not allowing freshmen to play at the varsity levels, I think that could happen. I think you'd really hurt your smaller classes, your 1As and your 2As.
Oh, no doubt.
That don't have the numbers that are leaning on some of those sophomores and freshmen to play to have a good or have the numbers they need for a varsity football team. So I don't know. I don't know who brought that up. I don't think it'll pass. Especially with the smaller schools. I think it wouldn't affect the bigger schools, and even, we're stuck in the middle. I don't think it'll affect us very much. Rarely would we have a freshman on the varsity. And like I said, A.J. McCarty is the difference to something like that. They come every once in a while, and for us, it probably wouldn't affect us, the big schools, but the small schools, I think it would affect us. So I think that'll leave it up to the district.
Yeah, we haven't had that many. Junior Martinez, a kicker, played as a freshman. You mentioned AJ, and you go back to Steele Ratliff, played as a freshman. But these guys they were solid as freshmen.
You bet.
They were big kids. And Junior, a kicker, was outstanding as a freshman. So we'll see where that goes. I'm like you. I don't think it's going to pass.
Yeah, I forgot about Junior. He plays a special position for us. He's our special teams man. Punts and kickoffs and field goals and extra points. But he is big for us to have. But it's I know why they're trying to do it. Because of the age of the kid and the physicality of the game. I think they're trying to limit some of that, but if I was guessing, but I don't think that'll pass. And the UIL's not real big on running the state. They want the districts to run their schools, and they put a lot of emphasis on that.
You think about charter schools, sometimes that's all they got, maybe freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah,
so they would be in a bind if that were to pass. But anyway.
Don't get me started on charter schools.
Okay, moving on.
Moving along.
Moving along. All right. We got a special guest in the studio. Would you like to introduce this gentleman to your right?
Who, Randy?
Yeah? Or the lady to your left?
Oh, you're talking about Coach Hill. Well, let me do that. Tried a couple years ago, a year or two ago, to get Coach Hill. He played at Brenham, of course. I don't want to get deep into that. I want to let him talk about that. But played at Brenham with Coach Harris was there, Coach Mauser was there. And so I had a little connection with them and worked through Brett and Brian to try to give Coach Hill an opportunity to come here. He had some situations, I think it was about a year ago, that didn't allow him to come. And then this year we were looking around and reached out again. It's in our profession, it's becoming extremely difficult to hire people and hire people of character. So it's really important that you lean on coaches that you know and have been around. And just so happens that Coach Hill was at Corsicana. Like I said, I don't want to give all that up, but Grant Feaster, who coached was at Brownwood and was with me the first year, was at Corsicana, and I keep in touch with Coach Feaster, and we talked, and he gave me some information on Coach Hill, and all in all, it worked out for Coach Hill to come. Coach Hill has a great background in quarterbacks, and he'll take on that task to coach all of our quarterbacks at every level. This year, he also was a baseball player and is going to help Coach Harris with the baseball team and some pitching stuff. So I'll be quiet and let him go into more detail about that. But new quarterbacks coach and assistant baseball coach Caleb Hill.
All right. While we get the microphone exchanged right over there,
Let me pit him up right there.
Caleb Hill in the white T-shirt, Sammy in the gray, and I'm wearing my Gap right here. Coach, welcome to KOXC. Welcome to Brownwood.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I know it's not your first time in Brownwood.
No, it's not. I've been through a handful of times coming through town, seeing Coach Mauser and Coach Harris whenever I'm in town, making sure I say hi to them and getting back on the road. So not my first time here.
Let's learn about Caleb Hill. Where did you grow up? Where did you go? Okay. Underwoods?
Haven't eaten there yet.
Oh, okay. Sammy said he'd take you. On Sammy, by the way. There you go. We'll all go. Lunch. Oh, it's Wednesday. They're closed today. You lucked out. All right. So talk about your background, where you grew up and where you went to school.
Grew up really near Temple, Texas, a little town called Little River Academy. But I moved to Brenham thanks to my dad getting a job in Houston. Very, very blessed for that. And so I say my hometown is Brenham. That's where I'm from, and that's where I graduated high school.
We have a lot of ties to Brenham, obviously, around here, and we talked about the track. You didn't run track, but Coach Newman's been down there for years and years. Jared Newman. I think he's retired after this past year.
Slacker.
Only 37 years or whatever.
Slacker.
Boy, you had a great program. But you played other sports. Tell me what you played at Brenham.
I was quarterback for the football team, and then I was, I guess, the big man, as big as I could be for the basketball team, and then I was left-handed baseball player, so first base, pitcher, and outfield. That's what I'm limited to.
Left-handed pitcher right there.
Yeah,
and big man on basketball. What, you're about 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, high school I think I was 6'3", 6'4", which in the Houston region isn't quite very big in basketball, but I was as big as I could be.
All right.
Well, he wasn't a very good quarterback. Ask him who he threw the ball to.
Yeah, you had a pretty good receiver by the name of?
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton.
He's not too bad.
Not too
He's
shabby.
all right. He's okay.
Brenham has turned out some great athletes
they
over
have.
the years. I'm baseball, football. I don't know about basketball, but you went to college and you played ball a little bit in college.
Yes, sir. I spent a year and a half at Blinn Junior College.
Baseball?
No, football.
Oh, you played football at
Yes, sir.
Blinn.
Yes, sir. I
Okay.
was quarterback there at Blinn, and then I got a scholarship to go play football for the University of Montana.
Well, how about that? So you made it to Montana, played a
Yes,
little
sir.
ball. How
Yes,
did y'all
sir.
do up there?
We did good. Had a rough season my first year. Second year, had a new head coach. Really started taking steps in the right direction as a program, and you look at them now. I think they're preseason ranked number 4 in the nation.
So what era are we talking about? Years did you go to Montana?
That was 2017 through 2019.
Just recently.
Yes, sir.
Right there. So how did you do personally? Did you get some starts? Were you a starter?
My first year there, I was backup quarterback. Got some snaps, got 1 start. We did well. And then my senior year, new coach, he had a new quarterback he was bringing in and asked me to play tight end for him. He asked me to do the position change, and I'm always a team guy, so I just said yes, sir, put on the weight, and went out there and played tight end my senior year.
Well, how about that? All right. So after Montana, in 2019, you went to?
The Boston Red Sox somehow found me, and I still don't know how they did, but they found me, knew I played baseball, and asked me to do a tryout for them.
See, I knew that because I read about that. So you had a tryout and a brief stint with the Red Sox. How was that?
Well, I got drafted in 2019. Had the pamphlet going to Florida, knew where I'd be staying, and then shortly after COVID hit, and wasn't able to ever sign a contract or go play ball. But you know what? It was all in for God's good. That I didn't need to go play baseball. I needed to come do what I'm doing now. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Well, left-handed pitchers are in need always in Major League Baseball. So anyway, well, I guess we're kind of sorry that didn't work out. That would have been a dream deal for you, I know, to be able to play ball in the minors, majors maybe. So after that, where did you go?
After that, I was kind of stuck. I didn't know. I thought I'd be playing baseball for a little bit, and then when that fell through, I didn't know if I wanted to use my accounting degree, go sit in an office all day and do accounting, or what I wanted to do. And I took my brother to Waller, Texas.
You know where Waller,
I know where
Texas?
Waller is.
Waller, Texas.
Right on 290.
Yeah.
And it was for Air It Out camp,
okay.
the quarterback camp. I went to it. I love Coach Wardis, Cody Hodges, all those guys. They do a great job with that camp. And I took him to go to this camp. They recognized me and asked me to help coach. And of course I said yes. And that was when my dad could see my passion for coaching and how much I enjoyed being out there. And my dad's the one that kind of brought it up to, why don't you look into being a coach? And my mom supported it. She told me to go do it. And when I looked it up, it seemed like the right choice.
So is this where did you coach before Brownwood? Where were you?
I was 2 years at Corsicana.
Okay.
I was actually a volunteer coach for Blinn, I guess, my very first year.
Okay.
Out of college. I was kind of like the assistant OC up in the press box just because I played for him and I knew the whole offense. And then I took the job at Corsicana the next year as receivers coach and pitching coach there.
All right, pitching coach for baseball. Well, now you're in Brownwood. I know Coach Sammy talked a little bit about your duty, so why don't you tell us what you're going to be doing football-wise and other sports?
Quarterback coach, all levels, and then pitching coach. I'll be helping Coach Harris, the man I played for, so it'll be fun.
All right. So you've got that, excited to be in Brownwood, and what have you seen from some of your guys so far, I-Call and others at quarterback?
We have a strong quarterback group. Ike obviously has a lot of ability, and there's some younger guys down there in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade that have a lot of ability as well. So I think we have a good class in general to hopefully be loaded at the quarterback position.
All right. Offense as a whole, I know we had Dexter Nard, new OC in here, and he is really excited about some of the guys that Ike and some of these guys are going to be throwing to pretty deep at receiver.
That was one of the things I noticed on my interview and getting to watch some 7-on-7 is we have some weapons on the outside. We've got to come together as a team and as an offense, and there's a lot of variables to make a good offense click, but we definitely have the pieces there, and we'll see what happens.
Boy, no doubt about that. So how long have you been in Brownwood? I know I saw you at the camp a few weeks ago.
Yes, sir. I was at the baseball camp a few weeks ago. When did I get here? June. I think it was around June 12th. It was around my birthday, I think.
What about other family? Are you married or?
I have a girlfriend here with me.
Okay, good.
I have a girlfriend here with me, not married. All my family still in Brenham or Temple, Texas. They're way out there.
That's awesome. So they're excited for you, I bet, to be a Brownwood Lion.
Yes, they were upset to hear I'd be a little farther from home, but they were very excited to be in Brownwood, where Coach West and Tim Erline and Craig Agnew, 3 very influential men in my life.
Oh man,
this is where they grew up. This is where they played ball. So they were very excited about that.
All right, tell us a little bit what you like to do when you're not coaching, hobbies or anything like that.
I'm a big outdoors guy. Grew up hunting and fishing. I'll go play golf. Not good at golf, but I'll play golf.
Okay.
And
join the crowd.
Just like being outside. I'm excited about the lake here and getting to go outside, be on the lake a little bit, be on the water. So, just enjoy being out.
Are you a NASCAR fan?
I was back when NASCAR still had those good rules. Now, ever since they changed all the rules, I don't watch NASCAR as much.
Oh.
Plus, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is not a driver. I don't know who to cheer for anymore.
Sammy's shaking his head right here. You got 2 huge NASCAR fans, maybe 2 of the biggest in
I used
Brownwood.
to watch all the time, and ever since they changed some of the rules and everything, we stopped watching. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired, and it just we stopped watching.
Let's talk a little baseball again. Red Sox. Did you get a chance, though, before anything happened, of meeting any of the guys or hanging out with anybody?
None of the players. The scout I met, and we still, the scout calls me probably once or twice a month still.
Is your arm still loose?
Yeah, he'll ask me how my arm's feeling, and I'll have to tell Carl that I'm done. I'm not throwing anymore. But it's really cool. Had a pitcher last year that was fortunate enough to have that ability and to be able to call the guy that drafted me and get some names. Being able to watch him last year was a blessing in disguise as well.
What round were you drafted in?
Oh, I was late. I think there's 40 rounds total, and I was 36.
Hey, you know what? There's been some big stars drafted late in the Major League Baseball draft. No doubt about that. All right, so baseball-wise, who do you follow Major League? Anybody?
He's going to say the Astros.
Astros.
Oh, I know, from Brenham, of course.
I'm an Astros fan.
My goodness, go Stros. Man.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
What about football-wise?
Football, I Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, Cowboys. Any college teams you root for?
Yeah, I grew up at Texas A&M Aggie.
Okay.
Always made the joke. I prayed as a little kid to be playing ball in maroon and white, and I think God misheard me because I played maroon and white, but it was all the way up in Montana.
Right. Montana's
Yes,
maroon
sir.
and white. Oh, man. Fascinating stuff. Well, anything else, Caleb, that we don't know about you or need to know?
No, just excited to be here in Brownwood and be able to work with a really good coaching staff. I can already see the difference in Corsicana to Brownwood, and I'm just excited to see what kind of year we have.
All right. Me too. Welcome to Brownwood.
Thank you.
Quarterbacks coach, assistant baseball coach, and what else?
Pitching.
Pitching coach for baseball. There you go. I think we got a good one, Sammy. A guy that certainly knows about throwing the baseball, okay? And he's a left-hander. What was your main pitch? Let me guess. You threw a mean slider, I bet. You were a Kershaw slider guy.
I was a two-seam guy.
Two-seam fastball.
Two-seam. That's what I was throwing.
Well, there's a lot of big leaguers that made a fortune off a two-seam fastball, especially left-handers that tail away kind of from those right-handed batters. All right. Man, we could talk baseball all day, by the way, okay? We may have to get you back in one day and just talk baseball. All right. So thank you again for being here, Coach Hill, and welcome to Brownwood.
Yes,
We're going
sir.
to get the mic back to Sammy. Sammy's a baseball guy, too. He knows a thing or two about baseball.
You know, we have a whole lot in common. He was 6'5" in high school. I was 5'6". I'm left-handed. He's left-handed.
That's true.
Both went to college and played baseball. Both had an opportunity to get drafted. Different variables caused us not to do that. But see how much we have in common? We've both been at Brenham at some point.
Yeah, that's right. And you played at Tech.
Yep, for a little bit.
There you go. At Don Law Field.
He was coached by Coach Mauser and Coach Harris, and I coached Coach Mauser and Coach Harris.
Oh, man.
So there's a little bit difference in age. He's 26, I'm 53. See how much we have in common?
Oh, my goodness. All right, that was a great visit today, and we'll try to get a couple of other of your new coaches in the coming weeks. Coach Wilson.
Coach Wilson.
Right. It seems like you've got a great staff put together.
We do. You know, I've said it before. The Lord didn't bring us here to fail. He has a plan. He has a purpose, and it's neat sometimes to see how that is revealed. We lost Coach Mauser this year to advancement for him as a defensive coordinator to be totally in charge of the defense. He went and joined one of his buddies he coached with at Brenham, and Mike Adams. And then, we lost Coach Howard to Goldthwait in the Eagles. He's now the athletic director and head football coach there, which he should be. He's the man for that job, and knew when that thing came open that if they don't hire him, something's wrong with him. But they were smart enough to get him back in Goldthwait. And then the Lord provided open doors and windows and opportunities for us to see some people out there with Coach Jackson, Coach Hill, and Coach Wilson, and a lot of things have to fall in place for that stuff to fit and to work and to be able to employ those guys and get them here. But it's just the Lord putting His puzzle together, and it's neat for me to see it. So once again, we lost some good coaches, but then I see the coaches that we have coming in and the opportunity that we have to be with them. It's awesome. So Coach Jackson's going to be great for our receivers. I tell daddies always want to talk about quarterbacks, and every daddy wants their kid to be a quarterback. We got a quarterback coach that air it out. Mm-hmm. So the way I see it, we got an air it out coach with us every day, not just get to go see him once or twice a year. So we're blessed to have Coach Hill leading our quarterbacks, and then also Coach Smith, Marvin Smith. His dad was one of my coaches, Rick Wilson, great man, a godly man. Has passed that down to his son, who's a hard worker, very good at building relationships with kids. Been the defensive coordinator at Ballinger for a good while. Got him over here. He's going to be coaching the D-line. He'll be a defensive coordinator. Same thing as Coach Mauser was. Coach David Jones is in charge of our defense, and Marvin will be our defense coordinator. They'll work hand in hand together to make sure we have the right system in place. But as time passes and people move on and they advance in their career, the Lord's always still putting people in our positions for us to continue to mold kids and be successful. So I couldn't be more excited and happy about the opportunities that we have with Coach Hill, Coach Jackson, and Coach Wilson.
Boy, amen to that. Good bunch, and we're certainly looking forward to it. By the way, I mentioned Clayton Kershaw, and he's got kind of that Kershaw look right here with that cap on. Anybody ever notice that, Coach Wilson, Coach Hill?
He makes a little more money than me.
Is that the guy? Is that the country music singer?
Clayton Kershaw? Yes, absolutely.
Or is that Sammy Kershaw?
Yeah, maybe they're related. I have no idea. All right. Anyway, Coach, good stuff today. Coach Hill, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. We'll visit again soon. Coach, man, good stuff today. Do you have anything else athletic-wise or otherwise racing this week at?
Yeah, that Pocono or somewhere where no, it's not Pocono.
They run.
Yeah, I probably won't be watching it very much.
Yeah, we talked about that Monday.
We'll watch it.
Wisconsin. They know what NASCAR is in Wisconsin?
It's called something America. Road America.
Road America.
Well, good for them. Okay. Road America.
Road America.
In Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, beautiful state.
That's right.
Vacation there a couple of weeks. Many. Back when I took vacations years ago. 1984, I stayed at Spooner Lake, Wisconsin.
That's
Spooner
beautiful. Lake.
Oh, man.
I bet it was beautiful.
Oh, you could see through the water, catch those big old pike, walleye.
Well, that'd be nice. I like fish.
It was nice. All right, Coach, thank you. Anything else?
Yes, thank those that make the show possible. Autoglass Magic, Burner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bon Young, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, Edward Jones Investments, Henrik Medical, Howie Enterprises, Humphrey Peets, Landmark Life, MC Bank, Painter and Johnson Associates, Smith and Sharp Agencies, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
All right, Coach, thank you. We'll visit again on Monday. Again, thanks to Coach Hill.
You bet. Have a great day, Brownwood.
Brownwood Lions head football coach, athletic director Sammy Burnett here on the Coaches Show every Monday and Wednesday at this time on KOXE 1013 and video streamed at KOXE.com.